Junior is the missing link since I've been working with David Hammonds. I never quite knew who Junior was. He was always on the peripheral side of everything. We would go and do different things, and he would always be the outside person. Not quite accepted, but whatever. And during the time I knew him, he had a problem. And apparently his problem was, I think it was diabetes or something like that. And so at that point, after David did this thing, kicked the bucket up the street, he invited everybody over and they sat down, they sat out and talked about art. And when he began to talk, he kind of like went into what was going on down here during the Ken Calibra thing showed up, and what his nature of his business. The way he got into that business was like they would have this program to feed people. So he became part of the program. So he would get donuts and coffee and things like that and funding. So that's how he got his start over there. Subsequently, he grew beyond and out of that, got his own building and all that other stuff happened. So
his wife got it. His wife was the smart one. I mean, the intellectual type, the school.
Yeah. So Junior knew all of this.
Yeah.
So that kind of like came up. Then I began to, who's Junior? What's his connection in terms of all these different entities?
Well, he knew the inside stuff. He was the storyteller. That is, he knew more about those people than they thought he knew, because he wasn't quite a part of it. He was always on the periphery. I talked to Junior a lot. I used to talk to him a lot. And some of the things he would tell me, he knew everybody's stuff. He knew it. And he wasn't the one to just lie and exaggerate. He would tell it like it was. He knew it. And the thing that I found interesting, he had what do you call it, when people just, they overlook him. You know how, So they just overlook him, and at the same time, he's looking, and he's picking up on everything, and he had privy to hear things, and people would tell him things because they never put him as a part of all of that. So he had quite a bit of history. He had quite a bit of history. He can tell you. And also he was a kind of trusting guy. There go your cousin.
Missed it. Hanging out deep.
Yeah, but that's the way Junior was, and that's why I had just seen, like, I saw him about a month ago.
Yeah, I seen him also. It's in the neighborhood.
That's a pity. I hope he didn't die alone. Hope they didn't take 3 or 4 days to find him. Those things happen in those situations.
Yeah.
But, he knew the stuff because, I don't know. I don't know if they took him seriously or what, but that's how he got privy to everything. Because he wasn't a part of any.
Yeah. Because David had a big thing in '96 at the opening for the big painting show they had up there.
Yeah.
So David hired a limousine to pick everybody up, white limousine, and the whole conspiracy was get all the Delaney and all the other people in the car and have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
So Junior wasn't quite on the end of that, so he didn't know what not to get in the car. In other words, he was on the edge of like, what do I do? What's all this about, right? He wasn't privy to it, so David kind of like tell him, just meet us at such and such a place. So that was the bar down here in Soho there that they always hang out in. I didn't realize that's where they hung out in. I think it was on Mercer Street somewhere. It was one of them, real upscale. This is the place where everybody shows up at if you know where to be. So then they told Junior where it is, and after they did all the stuff in the limousine, went over there, and there Junior was sitting at the bar, right? Like he knew. In other words, he was comfortable in that space there, So, and then I found out that Junior basically was semi-homeless.
Well, he worked in the city department for a long time.
And they decided to pull him back in the system and gave him a job working down in the Parks Department, and that's where he lived at for a while. Right in the back of the criminal courts building.
Yeah, that was his park over there where all the Chinese
Yeah. Yeah, so he lived there. So they just just closed the eyes on the situation because they realized that Junior was somebody uniquely and special. So let's leave him alone. So that's the last I heard. Then I seen him around different times. He kind of like look at me, kind of like like suspicious. So I said, okay, I won't say nothing. Because after that night they hung out over here. They had a beer, and Junior kind of like just went out for about 15 to 20 minutes, and I like wondered, well, that's what happens when people is on that kind of thing. When they OD on it, their blood sugar just collapses, and they're literally, they're unconscious. So that was back during that same, so it was about 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that about it, but I knew he was a sick man, and and the thing that, I thought he was with the Parks Department. He could go and get, he had his medication, but he still did
What is the festival? Rosaida.
Third Avenue B. Keep going that way. You run into it. Yeah, keep going straight. You'll see it. Lots of people all of a sudden.
They having a festival.
Yeah.
Today at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Junior was the interesting part of all that clique of.
Yeah. So then David stopped by last night. So Junior was like a walking history book, kind of. Nobody really did a book in terms of what was in his head.
Right.
He was another Truman Capote type then, huh?
He knew the stuff, and he had privy to it because people never took him. I wouldn't say took him seriously. They just didn't pay attention, and they discuss things in front of him, and they just, he wasn't one of the people, so. They would just talk freely in front of him, so he knew.
He took all that with him, huh?
Yeah, he sure did.
Now the history is important.
Yeah, he sure did take it with him because he sure had it.
Those pieces are missing. He was one of the main pieces.
All them folks.
You name him, he was in the middle of knowing what the connections were, huh?
Yes, he did.
All the way from Overstreet, you knew to go all of Overstreet's thing.
Hi there. Crazy Overstreet.
And he kind of like, I guess he knew too much, and they knew he knew too much, and
that's the
so
thing.
it,
Kinda, every now and then they kind of stroke him, so he wouldn't put their business out there, because he knew them. He knew them very well.
So that was the accepted part of him. He had them underneath his thing then.
Yeah.
They had to kind of like, otherwise he'd flip it over.
Yeah.
So I guess that kept him going then.
Yeah.
Kept him in the system.
Because he definitely knew those folks over there, those crazy.
Because in a way he had nothing to offer that system except for what he was just privy inside the system. Because, they couldn't say, well, this is Junior, he did this, and he's into this, and he's into that, like this is, but he was just
But they fed off of him. that's what they did. They fed off of. They needed to know something about something. They would go to him. That's for sure. You better believe. That when they needed something, they knew where to go. If they needed some information, hey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's when they understood too. That's how they understood what he was really was. Because if they needed something, some info on somebody or whatever, they could go to Junior. He'd give them a rundown.
Okay. So he didn't hold nothing back once they asked,
Yeah.
So they realized he.
That's right.
Okay.
They knew that he.
And they knew he was gonna get it. That they could get it from him, straight up. And they could deal with it otherwise.
Yeah. That's why David kept contact, because David can go wherever he wanted to go throughout the world and have a lapse of time. He come back, he asked me about
Yeah. He still be in on the game.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
That was. I remember the time when David did that show in Amsterdam, and it was when the guy came here, the owner of the museum, when he came here, when he met Junior, he wanted to bring Junior to Amsterdam as well, but David was saying, well, what is he going to do? How is he going to fit into the show? That kind of thing. Because the guy, he wanted Junior over there. After he sat down there and had access to Junior, he wanted to bring him. But David was saying, well, David told me personally, he said, well, I just thought he wanted to have Junior here to have, how did he put it? It wasn't a positive thing. David didn't put it on a positive level. It's just somebody to show, like to show, as.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
David didn't feel it was.
And the other guy was after other kinds of information.
Yeah, and so.
Oh, that was a great opportunity for him.
David just didn't trust it.
Well, the guys they were asking him something, he come truthful for it, and blew David's thing wide open.
And so David,
David's straight up a businessman.
Yeah, he said no, they want to get him over here and pick his head.
Yeah.
And then I saw Junior later. After that, when I came back from Amsterdam, and he mentioned that the guy really wanted him to come there first,
So if Junior was a writer, I guess he'd have put something out there, but I guess he didn't have access to that skill, huh?
Yeah, I guess not.
Or nobody knew he knew what he knew.
I guess he just didn't have.
He was too much on the inner circle. Them people gonna let him out.
He was really something. I can run into him wherever, and
he been hanging all these weird places.
And then in about a half an hour, he'd sit down and he'd just tell me. I said, Junior, where's David? And he'd say, oh, David is so and so, and then David and then he would tell me all the contacts that David had when he was in the city and blah blah blah, and then and whoever, all those East Side people.
Yeah.
He definitely had it.
Yeah, I guess I missed that part of the story when it was being told about how all these pieces came together.
Yeah, but that's why he was.
Because the other part of the equation is what's his name upstairs on the top floor there.
Upstairs.
The photographer. Yeah, she does pinhole stuff.
Oh, you're talking about the woman, yeah.
Sattler.
Yeah, Sattler.
Yeah, she's the other part of the David syndrome.
Oh, really?
They came out of the same kind of reality in Chicago.
Oh, really?
They knew each other in Chicago.
Oh.
She was a big time artist in Chicago.
Oh.
she kind of like got fed up with it all and wasn't able to really get the game together the way everybody else was playing.
Yeah.
So she joined the Merchant Marines.
Okay.
And she got shipped off to Africa.
Okay.
When they arrived in Northern Africa, now, there was no women in the Merchant Marines now, okay?
Yeah.
She was the first one.
Yeah.
So when they got to Africa, the northern, at the Arabian area, they went down and made a deal with one of the sheikhs, and they sold her.
Oh, God.
And then he went up to get her.
Whoa. No wonder she's so weird. That's one weird woman, girl.
And because I was curious about her, so I did an interview for the newspaper here. So I interviewed her at length about who she was and what she's all about, how she, how she got around to being here.
Yeah.
And then when I was working with David, one night there was 2 white women in there, me and David, right? When she came in there, like she was like hit for reals. I know why y'all doing it with these white women. It's like typical of y'all. I don't know why these women take this shit from y'all. And like, and she puffed and puffed and she left. Boom! Closed the door. Came over here and slammed this door. Bam!
Hey, how you doing?
And ever since then, she walked through me and I walked through her, right? I was very close to that woman for a while. She used to teach around at Cooper Union. Her work is like, you couldn't get any better in the things that she did. She got it to that point. She's it. Nobody else can come close to what women have she utilized and what she utilized. She does pinhole photography. That's perfect. Pinhole photography, there's all kind of problems. She figured out the problems and only select those times and those realities to do a pinhole of. It's a perfect image.
Yeah.
That's who Veronica is. And Veronica was, she has been on the slide since I began to know her. And the story that she told me.
That accounts for their behavior.
Yeah. She's got to the point now. I guess I had a whole problem with Cooper Union. She's got some other job working another place. They treat them nice. She could take a cab to work. Everything's cool.
Yeah, well, that explains her behavior.
Yeah. And then the other one that's in here, when she weighed 400 pounds and bought a motorcycle and began to change her life. And now she rides a bicycle.
Oh, yeah. Well, doesn't she still do the construction thing?
I don't know what she does.
Yeah, she does.
She weighed 400 pounds.
I remember when she was a big woman.
A big woman.
Yeah, I remember, but she got into that program they started years ago about women in construction. And she's now, I think she's a certified carpenter and stuff. She knows all that stuff.
Yeah. She's another one,
She still
You
does
folks so
all
far
that.
out there, Got your whole life,
They
Say nothing to you,
They're
I'm out of
definitely
here.
out there, boy. I mean, their vibes make it clear. You keep a boundary, man. You don't walk across that boundary. Yeah, I remember when she was quite heavy.
Yeah. She bought that motorcycle. I said, oh boy, what's going on in her life now?
And she lost that weight.
Where's your buddy? I'll wake you up.
That's your buddy.
I'll wake you up.
She keeps that weight off of her.
It's hard to hold it in, huh?
Oh, look at this. Hey, little girl. Oh, my goodness. Hey, little girl.
Frozen.
Hey. my goodness. Okay, little girl. You know.
Likes to smell the booties.
Now hold it in. Go with it.